So I've been reluctant to permanently fix down the antenna for my X8R, which hooks up to the Eachine Wizard. So my temporary solution has been to stuff the antenna inside of the housing such that it's fairly difficult for them to rattle out. This time I have the wires coming out from the underside of the craft, and prior to that I had it coming outside of the top of the craft right here. It was a little bit small and it was right next to the VTX transmitter, and I didn't like that very much. So I put them through the bottom, and here we are. So as a more permanent solution, I would say you should tape them to the underside of the quad right here. I haven't done that yet because I had a problem with my receiver. It was only unplugged, but it gave me a little scare, and I just didn't really want to permanently fix it. You can vibrate this pretty hard. It won't come out unless you give it a real good yank, and it's not in the way of the props at all. I do still worry about this connector sometimes. When it's connected like this, it does kind of flop around, and it could get in the way of the props, but I haven't done any extreme flying lately, so I'm still trying to take it easy and just keep my quad around so I can enjoy it when I'm a good enough pilot to make it through the day. Big downside, I don't have a mounted camera. I have this, which is a camera I stole from a smaller quad. It's about 480i or 720p camera, I forget which. It's decent, nothing compared to a GoPro. I mean, look at that lens. You're just not going to get anything out of it. But I'm trying to figure out how to power and mount it just so that I get some stationary video, because my Boz cam is just not coming along like I was hoping. But when I find the right channel, we should be in business. And thanks for whoever asked how you had your antenna mounted. That is the super cheap way of doing it.
Alright, so this is my quick little video of how I support my X8R antennas. So you can see my X8R in there. I've got the panels on the side off, mostly because I crashed this thing really hard the other day and fried this motor. Popped a bunch of stuff, cracked that cable, broke two propellers. The whole thing is just messed up. I fucked my brand new VTX antenna. Anyway, so the point being, so I don't have the little piece of the standard antenna that this X8R comes with, because I crashed it and broke them off. So what I did is I pulled the antennas off of this receiver here, just by cracking it off and unplugging those little connectors, and what they look like under there is that. So that little exposed part is quarter wavelength, and that's the part that actually gives you your reception. But either way, that's what it looks like, and I've basically wired it up, those back little holes there, along some zip ties, and then I've heat shrinked the zip ties all the way down. Helpful tip, the heat shrink won't affect the range, because the only thing that will affect the range or how well your antenna works is if you are coating it in a conductor, so a piece of metal. That's why they shield these things with metal down here, because they don't want you to be getting interference down here on the antenna. They just want the reception to be coming from right there. So heat shrink should work. You can get those little wires for a replacement. You can get packs of them for almost nothing, and just hook them straight in. You just crack open that X8R and it works like a charm. So that's how I do mine, and they bend pretty easily too, so if you land on the top, I haven't had a problem yet. So hopefully that was helpful.